finally to another week of a lot of Baka. So this week is a discussion week.
Yes. And we're discussing unfair fights.
Mm-hmm.
Not unfair fights that we have chosen. Unfair fights in actual shows. Because we like to choose our own stuff here, but this time not. You can go first.
Okay. So number one. Well, not number one as in, like, I think it's the most unfair.
Yeah.
Just number one as
in
this
the
is
list.
The first one I'm going to do.
I'm going to speak of.
So number one on the list, I put Orochimaru versus Sasuke.
Of course.
Now, I also thought about putting Itachi versus Sasuke. But that one was, of course.
But we all know
They're
who's
all
the loser.
Course. To be honest with
that.
you, I could have put any Sasuke fight on this list.
And it could have been the cat down the street in Sasuke.
Right?
And the cat down the street.
Because Sasuke always fighting people who are already on their deathbeds.
Mm-hmm.
Then he want to walk around like he big and bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he bragged hella for killing Orochimaru. When Orochimaru was literally in his bed coughing up blood when he came in to kill him.
I think that he purposely does that. He's like, he has all these days to train and do all this stuff. He's like, I'm gonna wait until they about to die to do this.
Patience.
And you really sit here and walk around like you big and bad. Like, it's a pattern, dude. Everybody sees it.
Literally a pattern.
And
It'd be one thing if it was like this was the only time. Like,
he's
if
too
Itachi
prideful.
was the only time.
He's too prideful about that shit.
Because I'm not gonna lie to you, like, I would have also taken that opportunity to kill Orochimaru if I were him, because you're trying to escape, he's trying to take over
But
your
I wouldn't
body.
have been so.
But I wouldn't be bragging about it to everybody like, I'm the one who killed Orochimaru. I killed a legendary
A child could have killed Orochimaru at that point. Could have gone over there and sneezed on him. And Orochimaru would die.
Put some respect on Orochimaru's name.
Orochimaru would have whipped your fucking ass.
You know damn well. Nobody else has been able to beat this man.
And you think you of all people.
Right, that's why he's
you
taking
think
that
Naruto
opportunity to brag about
wouldn't
it. Naruto couldn't either in his Nine-Tail state. Can't nobody kill him because he don't die.
But my thing is, you think that Naruto couldn't. Naruto couldn't. And you can't even beat Naruto. And you think that you can beat Orochimaru.
And you'll hear bragging about it like anybody gonna believe you. As soon as I would have heard that, I would have been like, this Orochimaru, the legendary Sannin Orochimaru?
You must be talking about somebody else.
The one who experiments on kids? That's the
You
one
must be talking about Chaco from My Hero. Because you are not talking about Orochimaru.
Benimaru.
No, he ain't killing Benimaru.
I just had
either.
to use a different Maru name.
Gimme Maru.
He ain't killing him either.
I'm telling you, the cat down the street would have killed Sasuke. Like, jeez.
And I know we're gonna get so much Sasuke hate for this, but it's a fact. Like, I love Sasuke.
How are we gonna get hate for that? Are we really going to?
Probably, because a lot of people try to act like that's not true. Like, they try to say that he deserves the credit for all these fights.
No.
Not a single fight that he did he just deserve credit for. Not even Danzo.
No, I think, no. Mm-mm. Fuck out of here.
So anyway, that's the first one on my list.
Okay. I have to start off with Ochako and Bakugo. It was unfair, but it was also like they were in a tournament style, so it had to happen. She got it. She was good.
As good as she could
As
be.
good as she could be. Like, she's just smart. It's just she ain't got the power. Explosions versus release.
Yeah, gravity.
You
know, it was.
I mean, gravity could be a bitch, but she also can't do as much.
If she used gravity like how Chuya used gravity, then Bakugo would have had a run for his money.
They make her gravity too cute.
Like, all she does is float.
Yeah, they make her gravity too cute.
I can make things float. Like, not like you actually add heavy ass density to shit.
Yeah. So it's technically
you know
not.
I mean?
So her quirk technically isn't gravity then. Because she's making it float and then releasing it, and then gravity is taking a hold of it.
Right. So actually her power is like anti-gravity.
Yeah.
Like, she could just turn the gravity off. She can't like increase it or anything like that.
They just made her quirk a little too cutesy. She could have been badass. Would she still have beaten Bakugo? Hell no. Hell no. That was my first one, though. Because I think that was the funniest one. Because I'm just like, if it wasn't for the officials, she would have been dead.
And I was very upset. Like, for me, this list of stuff is like also fights that made me upset because it's like something that the writers clearly did on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, why? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
they did that for them too because they wanted to show, because I'm pretty sure up until that moment people were like, okay, her quirk is like okay, it's not like super whatever, but it's showing you like what she's been doing behind the scenes, because you know she is a background character, definitely a background character now, and seeing how like you can take something so little and minuscule and make it into something bigger and better, just like, you know, Deku's quirks all put together. They're all like helper quirks, but they can do bigger things.
Right. And
and that was their whole point of that, but still I really didn't care. Because it's not like it's gonna make me like her. And then
versus Bakugo, you could have done it versus anyone. Why did it have to be against Bakugo?
Tokoyami.
As soon as y'all said Bakugo's name, I knew damn well she was losing. I didn't have to watch the fight.
No, I didn't.
You know, it's like one of those things.
Yeah. I watched it. People are only watching that fight for Bakugo.
Yeah. Like,
if it wasn't for Bakugo, I would not have watched it at all.
That was obviously like a purposely unfair fight.
Right.
But like had Bakugo have actually lost, I still would have said that shit was unfair.
Yeah.
Because you know damn well, there's been no reason.
It was gonna be unfair regardless.
Unfair, yeah, regardless.
They would have downplayed Bakugo like they do Naruto.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And that would have pissed everybody off.
Exactly.
There probably some people that are gonna be out there and be like, Ochako can be him eventually. Yeah, in your dreams. Bakugo would have had a harder time with Chuya.
Yeah.
Than with her.
No, yeah,
I would
have
have loved that fight.
Right? That would be interesting. We should have put that in our anime crossovers. That
yes.
Other video that
oh
we did.
My gosh, I would have watched that fight alone 20,000 times.
I
love Bakugo and I love Chuya.
Definitely love Chuya.
Oh my god.
Okay, my next one is the Overhaul versus Night Eye fight.
Okay.
There was no way Night Eye was beating Overhaul. Let's be real. Oh, I can see 3 seconds into the future. How is that helping you in this fight?
It doesn't. It doesn't.
This man, all he got to do is grab you.
And
what was it? That not grab you. I'm thinking of Shigaraki.
Yeah, I was going to say that's Shigaraki.
But he was able to turn off people's quirks.
Yeah.
That was his whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, how is you seeing into the future for 3 seconds gonna help you against that?
I mean, it is a very good combat kind of thing where it's like,
not in this situation.
If he had better combat skills, he would have been able to hold him off until somebody came.
That's what I'm saying is unfair, because he didn't.
What do you mean?
He didn't have better combat skills.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like, so that was what was unfair about it. It's like,
but is that fair though? But is that fair though? But is that fair though at that point? Because it's like, why are you a top hero and you don't have any
sidekick? He's not a top hero. He is a sidekick.
That is true.
And this person is a super villain.
That's true.
And the writers paired them just because they needed somebody to kill off.
Now I can see how it's unfair, because I forgot that he was a sidekick. Mm-hmm.
He's not even like he wasn't a ranked hero. He's a sidekick. Mm-hmm. So
I think I was thinking about the fact that he has a big company,
right,
and thinking that
he was All Might's sidekick.
Yeah,
you know? But yeah, he was a sidekick, and they purposely set up that fight just so they could have somebody to kill in season 4. That's what I believe.
I'm so upset about Night Eye dying.
I mean, y'all know how
I think just Night Eye.
It was an unfair fight.
I just think Night Eye would have been a very good mentor for Midoriya, and so that's why I was very upset that he died. And then Mirio, and like it's just like the whole correlation between all three of them and stuff like that, and how Deku just met him.
I almost said that his fight with Mirio was unfair, but it actually wasn't unfair. Mirio just lost.
Yeah.
Like, I think he actually could have had a really good chance to win. It was just the circumstances with Eerie and everything that he wasn't able to. Yeah. But with Night Eye, I don't think Night Eye would have won in any situation. just being honest. There was no way he was winning.
I don't even understand how he was a sidekick for
All Might. I mean, I guess if you're... I mean, I see how that's helpful to someone like All Might who fights like close combat, and you're letting him know what's happening in the future. True. Like, you're just in a, like, say you have like an in-ear, and you're just telling him what's about to happen in 3 seconds. That could be totally helpful. But as you being like, that's it.
Normally, sidekicks I feel like also have their own little thing. Like Robin, Batman bought Robin all this other stuff and created it for him because he had nothing. Neither did Batman.
He had aerobics. He could fight, I guess.
Aerobics and fighting, or
not aerobics, acrobatics. What is it?
Acrobatics is still not fighting.
It's not. He has some skill.
He's flexible. He can bend around the bullet. He bend in this way and then that way. That's about it.
That's what makes him a good sidekick.
Whatever. Okay, Saitama versus any villain.
I thought about doing that too, but like that's literally the plot of the show.
But I think it's hilarious though. I just had to put it there.
I was gonna do Genos, but that's also clearly on purpose because Genos hasn't won a single fucking fight at all, and he's an S class.
The second best next to Saitama in the entire show.
Literally. Too funny.
I mean, that's it. I really just wanted to say Saitama.
That was the best one. My next one is controversial. Akaza versus Rengoku, Tanjiro, and them. And now the only reason I say this is because they all had just brushed with death fighting another upper rank demon.
Brushed with death?
Yes!
Rengoku didn't.
Rengoku wasn't, but the rest of them were. And Rengoku was like tied.
Zenny wasn't even there.
Zenny was like unconscious and exactly that's what I'm saying. By the time Akaza
he was unconscious over
from the last fight. No, he didn't help fight Akaza at all because he was unconscious. That's when by the time
from the train
showed up. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. By the time Akaza showed up, everybody was fucked up. And Inosuke couldn't do nothing. Tanjiro could barely even breathe.
No. Inosuke could. He was just riddled with fear. No. It wasn't like he was incapacitated.
They had all been injured up until that point. Like Tanjiro couldn't even stand up and breathe. Zenny was knocked out
Tanjiro
somewhere.
never can stand up and breathe.
Honestly, I almost put Tanjiro versus anyone. I almost put that. But I figured this one was a little bit more unfair because they literally just fought an upper rank demon. Literally just. And as soon as they go, whew! It's like the sweat that they just wiped off splashed the next demon that they had to fight.
Nemu, whatever the frick his name is I don't even understand why he is an upper rank, but he's only like a low rank 6 though.
Yeah.
He was like, what, 7 on the freaking board or something like that, or 10? Like, Rengoku was not that injured. The people who were the most injured were Zenny, only because he was protecting
Rengoku wasn't injured, but he was protecting those who were injured. That's why he could not win.
Inosuke could have been doing that. Inosuke was completely unharmed.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm only thinking about Rengoku and Akaza. I'm not even thinking about all them other people. Because Zenny did his job.
The whole group, not just Rengoku. Akaza versus the whole group. Because
why is it against the whole group? Because the whole group didn't even fight them. It was just
Akaza was trying to fight them. Rengoku had to save them.
But they weren't fighting. I wouldn't even put them in it because they weren't even fighting.
It was unfair.
At all.
Because
it was unfair.
Akaza came to fight the weak, right? That was what he wanted. He
was
going after
his
Tanjiro.
idea. Yes, his idea of fighting
after the weak people.
His
Rengoku
idea
had to protect the weak people.
His idea of wanting to fight the weak people is unfair, but he didn't fight the weak people. He fought Rengoku.
True.
Those were the only 2 factors. Rengoku and Akaza.
Rengoku wasn't fighting. He was protecting. And that's the difference.
It's still a fight. He's still within the fight.
It was unfair.
It was. I'm just saying, take the other 3 nincompoops out of it.
It was unfair is all I'm saying.
I'm telling you.
If they were not there, he would have won.
No, if Nezuko was awake,
I know.
She would have been more help than the 3 of them put together.
Or if they weren't there, Rengoku would still be alive. Like, he didn't have to protect those dumbasses.
The way that Nezuko has been proving herself these past, back to back. Where the fuck were you?
She should be the one who's a Hashira. If season 4 comes back, season 3, whatever fucking season we're on now, comes back, and Tanjiro is a Hashira and not Nezuko, I'm gonna be pissed. That's all I gotta say. Because Tanjiro would be.
I was about to say I don't want to spoil. I was gonna say I don't want to spoil another because that would really piss me off if somebody else became one.
Yeah,
and she didn't.
Yes, that's all I have to say. Because
that's all I gotta say. If you know, you know. If you don't, you know.
Would be dead if it wasn't for Nezuko. That's all I have to say.
And Rengoku would still be alive if it was for Nezuko. Akaza would be dead
in all fights.
But I will say,
each fight that they've had, he would have died if it wasn't for Nezuko.
But I really will say, I fuck with Akaza, though.
Of course.
I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, he killed my favorite person.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I like him. I'm dying to see him. Like, they keep giving us these little teasers. Mm-hmm. I'm dying to see him, actually.
He showed his ass. That's all he needed to do. That one time.
I know, right?
Okay. Gon versus Pitou.
Why is that also literally my next one?
Really?
Literally my next one. Okay, give your reasonings.
Okay. It's only Gon versus Pitou at the end, obviously. Mm. When he goes ham. It's the power of Kite, literally. I don't know if Gon would not have opened up like that if it wasn't for Kite and learning that he's not going to come back.
Right.
That's it.
I feel like it's unfair because though Gon did win that fight and slaughter Pito, it was at a great sacrifice to which he lost all his powers and whatnot. And I feel like that is unfair. Number one, he's the main character of the show.
And it's like, for what reason?
Yeah, I just don't understand
to
why.
Kill him?
To kill who? Pito?
Kite.
Oh, Kite.
Right.
Right, like, you
that's
killed
the whole
him to
moral
set this up, right, to set up this happening to Gon, because he's obviously the main character, so the only reason for Kite dying is to set up this happening. But why, if it's for the main character to lose his powers?
Right. And it's like...
that aren't even fully developed.
And it's like Kite had what they did to Kite had nothing to do with what their end goal. It's not like he had some gland in his body that was going to help, what, I don't remember his name. It starts with M, Memone, whatever the fuck his name is.
I don't think it was that, but...
I don't know. Turtlehead. The king. But, like, it wasn't even like there was a part of Kite that would have helped him in any kind of way. It was literally just all fun and games. I'm like, you could have picked anybody else. It was unfair because of the fact that Pito really thought that he was going to get away with that shit. Like, Gon might be a little kid, but, like, you've seen how good he is. You've seen his nin and all that stuff. So it's like, you really didn't think that Gon wasn't going to put up some kind of fight because of the fact that he's been sitting here trying to figure out how to get Kite back?
Yeah.
You thought he wasn't going to put up a fight? So it's unfair on Pito because Pito's dumb.
Yeah.
That's it. It's unfair, but I'm fine with it.
I just think that Pito would have won that fight if Gon did not have to go into that whole expel all my nen shit. And it's unfair that Gon had to go through that in the first place.
Yeah.
So the fact that the writers set up that fight and storyline like that was unfair all around and unnecessary to me.
Yeah. Fuck you, Pito.
Next. I guess I'll go next. So, my next one is from Chainsaw Man. What was the guy with not the chainsaw, but the other one?
Aki?
No, with the other one that's like Chainsaw
Katana.
Man. Katana. That's the word I kept freaking forgetting. I almost said Kurenai. I'm like, it's not Kurenai, man.
Kurenai.
Okay. So, Kunai, whatever.
Kunai Knife Man.
So, yeah, Katana Man versus Aki and Chainsaw Man and Haruno in that whole fight.
Yeah.
That was unfair.
In what way?
In the way that they completely bodied all of them.
I don't think that they needed to do all that.
Exactly! Like, that was... You slaughtered them like that for what?
Like, I understand that they were going after,
Chainsaw Man.
Denki. But y'all could have just snatched him up.
Especially if y'all were that strong to body them like that, you really could have.
I was going to say, you could have picked him
on
up.
All these different areas, like you shooting up people on the train and did all this. Why?
You're talking about then? You're not talking about when they first encountered Chainsaw Man?
Am.
Okay.
But I'm just talking, but like, I also include that in because that was their doing as well.
I was talking, like, I'm talking about from the very jump, they could have just taken Chainsaw Man and nothing else after that could have happened.
Exactly.
None of that could have happened. Y'all were too strong.
The whole thing in general was
that
unfair.
Fucking snake ate the damn thing.
The whole damn squad got wiped out.
Except, what's her face?
And y'all still didn't even get Denki. Like, that's what I'm saying.
Because Kobeni over there with his half-dead body.
Like, you could have just took him in the beginning, but instead you slaughtered all these other people to not even get your end goal. Our poor eye patch got poofed into thin air.
After just having a pact with Denki to get some ass.
All for that shit to have done nothing. Like, she literally sacrificed her life, and that shit made not even a dent in the fight at all. Like, I was like, unfair.
And then he still had to use his sword and still lost some of his life.
That's what I'm saying. Like, in general, everybody well, except for Chainsaw Man himself.
Like, what was the point of all that?
Everybody lost out but Chainsaw Man, and it's like, why?
You could have just taken him away. You did not need to show your power like that. You could have showed your power a little later, in thinking you could have made them think like, oh, we could take them. Like they took Chainsaw Man, they took Denki. We can get them.
Mm-hmm. And obviously, the way they wrote it into the show, like you said, it was just after they made the pact. Like they clearly purposely had that as a turnaround. Yeah, like for that.
That's the first thing I thought.
To pull that emotion out of us, like the crowd, because that definitely did happen when I watched it.
When she lost her arm and it went like this, I was like, oh my
God. Right? But like when you really think back to like what was the actual necessary purpose of that to begin with. It was unfair.
I was going to say, you honestly forget why they, like as soon as they show up, I almost forget why they even came.
And then
because it was like
crushes all of them, and it's like all these people died for no reason because she did that in 0.6 seconds.
And it's like you know that Makima knew that they were coming.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you could have been avoided this.
Like obviously, I'm sure it's gonna develop into something.
Right.
Like you said, she knew, and like there's probably some behind the scenes shit.
I don't trust her.
It's just I don't
trust Makima.
It was unfair. That's all I'm saying.
I love her. Just don't trust her. There's just some.
Agreed.
There's a lot of things that she knows that I cannot wait.
She plotting something.
Them eyes. They don't tell good story.
Thor. And the way she straight up manipulates and uses people.
Yes.
That's already a red flag.
Dinky wrapped around her little finger.
All of them.
My next one is Thorfinn versus Askeladd.
Which time?
Each time. Every time. It's so unfair because it's like, Thorfinn, your dad never taught you how to properly fight. Yes, your dad died and you want to avenge him, right? But you can learn something from Askeladd without actually, like, asking him. Like, see how he fights. See how his people fight, you know. Practice in some kind of way.
He did, though.
I don't think... But then also he didn't take up the opportunity that Askeladd had for him, which was like, I'll teach you, you know, and then you could properly fight me like a real man. Because right now you're just coming at me. You're not strategizing. You're not thinking. You need to think. I mean, these are all spoilers because we haven't talked about it. But it's fine. But, yeah, who cares? But it's like you could have learned something, and then you could have literally used every technique that Askeladd is using on you, that he taught you,
or
to kill him!
On everybody else. Like, you see how he navigates.
Yes.
With everybody. The freaking
He's not just a heathen. Like, I really thought
like,
that he was just a heathen. Askeladd was just a heathen.
He's a genius.
He's a genius.
Like, you could have learned something. And I'm sure he did learn something. I think he was just so clouded.
It was at the last second that he learned.
His problem was that he always got caught up in emotion.
Yes.
That was his problem. So I don't think it's necessarily that he didn't learn anything. He could have learned something, but like,
it took so long though.
He let himself overcome every time. Even the last time.
I don't think that he learned anything from that though.
Even at the end of the season, how he ends up getting himself a slave is because he lets his emotions overrun him. He just gets into this random fight in the middle of the street with these randoms. Why? Because he has issues. He has issues.
I don't think that he learned anything because it's like if he did learn anything from just watching Askeladd, his emotions may still have come arise, but it would have taken a little bit of time for them to come up in a fight, and so therefore he would have probably been closer to killing Askeladd. But it was always almost immediately. As soon as he was like, "You want to fight me?" He's like, "Yes!" He goes insane.
He couldn't help himself though,
and he's over here like this. Well, how does he do his little knives and shit? I don't know how he does it, but that should be cool as fuck the way he holds them.
Yeah,
but and he's just ready, and all of a sudden all he sees is red.
That's his.
So
problem.
There's no way that he learned anything.
But it doesn't matter what you.
But
teach
he
somebody.
wasn't willing. He wasn't willing because he didn't even teach him anything. He wasn't willing.
Regardless of what you learned or what you taught.
Askeladd was damn near his father. Askeladd was damn near his father.
He spent more time with Askeladd than his father.
Yes. And he didn't understand that. Everybody else did.
He never came. But in season 2, you see that he does understand that. He just had to grow past that. Like when you see red, that's an emotional thing.
And then
you can't be taught out of emotion.
And then him going ham when Askeladd died. Like that was not just I'm pissed I didn't get to kill you. I'm pissed because now another person I've been with my entire life is dead.
Yeah.
That was not I didn't get to kill you.
He came after Canute.
Mm-hmm.
So obvious, for what reason?
I mean, because he killed the person that he was trying to kill, but it wasn't just that.
Exactly.
It wasn't just
you
that.
You wouldn't be that mad because, you'd be like, all right, well, shit, thanks.
No. He would not have been like, oh, yeah, thanks.
No, I know, but, like, that was, like, definitely more of, like, a bond.
Yeah.
Like, that reaction, because it was so, how he did everything.
Because Askeladd really did not treat him like shit. He treated him exactly how Thorfinn treated himself. But it wasn't shit. It wasn't to that point of shit because he was like his little lapdog, but he never was like, "Oh, I'm gonna feed you scraps."
He told him many times that he could join them, and he was like, "No, fuck you." That's literally what.
But then did their dirty work,
but refused to be fed. Like, so you just being a slave for free, and you get nothing out of it. You're not even letting.
It made no
sense. House you.
That's why Thorfinn pissed me off. But
he did piss me off, but I love him too. But we'll talk about it later.
Yeah. Your next one.
That's all for me.
Really?
Yeah, because we had the same one for one of them. So.
Oh, okay. So then I have one more. All right. After the bickering. Meliodas versus the 10 Commandments. It's literally like having your family fight you, which was very sad.
Yeah.
Who won that? I don't even remember who won that.
Meliodas. I don't know. Probably not.
I just think that it's unfair because it's like your cousin's ganging up on you.
Mm-hmm.
Not really who won, who didn't win. It was just seeing that, like, these are people that you knew in your past. Your father sent them after you, and now you got to fight them.
Right. And it's not even like y'all got beef. You know?
Right,
it's
yeah.
Just like
it was
the
just
king
business.
ordered me to come fight you.
Yeah,
you know
it's strictly business.
Yeah. I feel you. So that was more of, that was unfair because it's unfair if you'd have to fight. Like, that's like
family.
Your boss and my boss ordering us to fight each other. I don't know, but...
or your family ordering you to fight me, or like, I don't know. Family fighting family, friends fighting friends is never a good thing.
Basically, when you're fighting a fight about issues that aren't your own. Like,
but it is there, but it was both sides. It was issues of their own.
No,
because Meliodas wasn't listening to his father, and so then his father had to get people that Meliodas knew to fight him. So it was like issues within the family that nobody else understands. Bond, King don't understand what's going on, and now they have to sit there and watch.
He was a demon like 3 days ago,
right? Like, and it's like the whole he kept it a secret for so long from them, all that stuff, and it's just like it's really hard to see that. Yeah, and that's what makes it unfair.
Yeah, I guess he went through a lot.
He did. He kept a very good head on his shoulders, though.
I also hate how that show ended, but we'll talk about it because we're working on it right now. Yep. That episode is
last week.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Sorry.
I'm keeping that in. See you guys.
Bye. Baka.